I've been running my whole life, and this is the first time I've ever bought running shoes that are specifically made for running. None of those cheap walking shoes, daily shoes that I used to use for running. No, this is the first time I've bought actual running shoes, even after running for over 15 years. And now I understand why running shoes are ugly because they just work and they're comfortable. These are the Brooks Go 17. Let's talk about them. So here we have the Brooks Go 17. I am going to come out and say my channel, Shoe Fernie, is specifically for casual wear, lifestyle wear. I am not an expert whatsoever when it comes to performance running shoes. But I did my research, I did my tests, I did my shoe finder quizzes and whatnot. And the top recommendation was always Brooks. It was either the Brooks GTS, the Ghost Maxes, or the Ghost 17s. And I'm glad that I went with the 17s. Now, my biggest gripe with a lot of running shoes for the longest time, like just last year, is when I bought my first dad running shoe, the Nike Spiridon Cage. These right here was the first time that I bought running shoes, even though the Spiridons are retro running shoes. Because my main gripe with a lot of running shoes is that they're just not very good looking shoes. But the Brooks Go 17, I gotta say, man, I am not upset at these. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old. I'm well into my 30s, and I first and foremost am looking more towards comfortable shoes over style. But the Ghost Max 17 caught my attention because of this specific colorway. Look at that fade from sky blue to this lime green. It's just really nice, man. The pops of neon orange as well just works really, really well. Let me go first over the upper. The upper, you have this very breathable mesh material with the Brooks logo here on the side. Makes the shoe rather breathable, but at the same time, if you were to wear a pretty thicker sock, you should still be able to fit, your feet into these things, regardless of fit, regardless of true to size. It's stretchable enough that you'll be able to use these shoes in the wintertime while wearing a thicker sock to protect your feet. Besides that, honestly, the upper is pretty uneventful, straightforward, just a running shoe. Here in the back, you do have this, in the heel portion, you have this very thick and strong kind of heel tab. I already got this thing dirty on my first run, whatever. But yeah, not a lot to write home about when it comes to the upper. Now the midsole, that's where all the goodness of this shoe exists. You have on the Ghost 17 the DNA Loft nitrogen injected foam from Brooks. If I'm not mistaken, this is from my rather limited knowledge and experience from running shoes. This is a 10 millimeter drop, meaning that the difference from the height, the stack of the heel to the forefoot is a difference of 10 millimeters. For the outsole, you have this really rugged outsole with a lot of grip. I'm guessing you can definitely run in these in some tightly packed gravel with no issues because of the outsole. Not necessarily a trail shoe by any means. This is first and foremost a road running shoe. But if you were to find yourself in those situations, I'm sure this outsole would survive pretty damn well. As I said, my experience is mostly in lifestyle shoes and basketball shoes. I've done performance reviews on basketball shoes because I've been playing basketball in my life. But again, basketball is running first and foremost. So I kind of can attest to a lot of the differences between a basketball shoe and this shoe and kind of come up with my this review. I will say that on feet, these feel really, really secure. A shoe that I can kind of compare this to are the Anta Kais from Kyrie and Anta. They just feel like they just hug your shoe really nicely. They're extremely lightweight, so it's really important that you have a good grip on your feet because, you basically feel like you're walking on clouds. It's super lightweight. You want to make sure that you still feel that, feel secure enough to run in these. And the Ghost Max, the Ghost 17 does a great job at that because of the upper, because of like how sturdy it is. There is a lot of support in the heel area. You have this really thick sort of plate here around the heel, the Achilles heel, which really does support your heel in that much way. And again, I did a runner's knot as well on this one to really secure the shoe to my feet, which helped a lot immensely. This is a rather wider toe box from other running shoes. Specifically, I've seen the Pegasus Max, the Vomero 18s, and the Vomero Pluses. And those are rather narrow. This specific Brooks shoe, this Ghost 17, did not feel at all narrow on my feet during my run. I have never ran in such a comfortable, lightweight, sturdy, but not too foamy type of shoe. Don't get me wrong, the foam is there, the support is there, the cushioning is there, but it's just not overbearing. There's a few things, my limited experience, I've mostly ran in Nike Quests, Nike Swift. I ran in like some Metcons back in the day. I know, terrible type of shoe to run in. I did not know anything about running. I did not really take it seriously up until literally like 2-3 weeks ago, because I am running a marathon next year, hopefully, if I do get selected for the Kyoto Marathon. And I can only compare, the instability that I felt when it comes to a very thick foam from the Air Max 90s, from shoes like that, the Air Max 1, the Air Max 90s. I obviously incorrectly always assumed that the more foam you had under your feet, the more unstable the shoe would feel. It all has to do obviously with the way that foam is spread out, that the way that the support that the upper provides to your feet is very well distributed, and that is everything. That's pretty much the case in the Ghost 17. Every single step I took felt very stable. I never felt any, I have a issue with overpronation, which essentially means that every time I take a step, my feet naturally go towards the inside of my arches because I have low arches. So I always need that support from every single step that I take because of that overpronation. That kind of makes it easy for me to twist my ankle, makes it easy for me to get more tired, makes, my arches hurt a little bit more. So I really did need that kind of support, and this shoe thoroughly provides that support to you, which is really surprising to me from such a lightweight shoe. I did not really expect that a lightweight shoe would have that much support, and it does not feel flimsy at all. The cushioning is there. Pretty standard cushioning, is not overbearing, is not, completely flat. From what I can kind of compare it to, like my previous long running type of shoe is the Nike Quest 4. That one has less cushioning. It's more so of a type of shoe for walking casually. It is considered a running shoe, so to speak, but it does not have the amount of cushioning that the Ghost 17 has, for example. So I did feel the road, obviously, in every single step when I went on my runs, and I felt that connection to the road. The field is very, very much there because of the lack of foam. This foam is very, very tight. It's very, very sturdy. And in my, head, I thought if this is gonna be a sturdy foam, it's not that soft. I'm probably gonna be feeling the road pretty closely. And yeah, I did feel there's good feeling of the road on every single step that kind of aids in the stability and the grip of every single step. But at the same time, the foam kind of expands every time you take a step, to the point where even though you can feel the road, the cushioning is still very much prevalent. Again, I am not an expert on running shoes, obviously. This is my first real running shoe that I've ever gotten, like at least not the budget option. I used to always just buy the budget options when it comes to running shoes. This is my first kind of like middle ground. It's not a road race type of shoe, but it's still a daily runner. So it's kind of like that mid-tier running shoe. So I'm not an expert by any means, but I will talk about the product details specifically directly from the Brooks website. Here it says, meet the next generation of a much loved running shoe. The men's Go 17 features more cushioning in the heel and forefoot than before, delivering a soft yet dynamic experience. There is 59% recycled materials in the upper, and this product is a certified carbon neutral product, which is really cool to see that. Soft and dynamic cushioning, enhanced design, and smooth transitions. The feel underfoot is balanced overall. I can attest to that. Never really felt overly cushiony. I never really felt, flat overall. So it is a blend of soft and dynamic cushioning that offers a smooth feeling with each step. The support here is neutral. It's not, max support. It's not Brooks's go-to support line either. There is the Ghost Max, which does have GTS, but it's still enough support for your daily runs, your short runs. I'm going to have a pretty extensive run on Friday. I have that scheduled around an hour. So hopefully I'm going to hit at least 5 miles on that run. And then I'll be able to really attest if this is a good, long distance type of running shoe. Probably not, but we'll see. And the weight, this is an extremely lightweight shoe. It is only 10.1 ounces or 286.3 grams. I'm fully on board when it comes to Brooks shoes. I used to be very, as I already said, focused on style rather than actual utility and comfort. The older I get, the more my knees start to scream at me from all those years of playing sports. I'm starting to understand why people get these type of shoes. I'm starting to really understand it. And hey, Brooks so far has one of my favorite silhouettes when it comes to running shoes. They're not overly daddy. Ew, I don't want to use that word. They're not overly dat shoey, but they're still, focused on, more so the performance rather the actual looks, but still, really has a good balance between style and comfort. This retails for a total of $150. I did get this on a discount for around $107, $110 over on Dick's Sporting Goods. So make sure, to look out for some discounts, because this shoe has been out for like at least 5 or 6 months. The discounts are out there, as Brooks kind of like probably is already working on the Brooks Ghost 18. Again, folks, if you've been, a long-time viewer of my channel, I have focused on both performance and lifestyle shoes, fashion, sneakers and whatnot. But this is something new that I really wanted to try out. I've been cycling, I've been running for the past year and a half pretty seriously. And I've kind of not wanted to talk about things that I'm not fully experienced in, but I really do want to challenge myself and, this thing that I'm really passionate about, which is sneakers, sports, fashion, in a sense. So you let me know down in the comments below what you think of, first and foremost, these type of reviews, performance reviews. But second of all, about running shoes. I feel like that's kind of, from the dad shoe kind of boom that we had in 2023, 2024, to now almost everyone that I know picking up running back again when we all used to hate it when we were kids. I kind of feel that there's going to be another big boom in running shoes and just running apparel. I mean, you got run clubs nowadays, et cetera, et cetera. I feel like we're slowly getting into that era of, at least me. I'm just basing this off of from, my surroundings, my friends and whatnot. We're in our 30s. We're not too much involved in like actual, I don't know. I feel like we're in that age where we start to explore a little bit more with our interests. But let me know down in the comments below what you think of the Brooks Ghost 17. Folks, I've been True Fernie. This has been True Fernie. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down, because believe it or not, every single bit helps. Links to my socials down below. Please make sure to follow me on Blue Sky, where I talk anything and everything that might interest you as my viewer. But folks, please take care of one another, but most importantly, take care of yourself and your feet. That comfy boy running dad shoe era has truly commenced. It is what it is, man. Time comes for us all. Peace.